Hello everyone, welcome back to our subject web technology. So far, the last 5 topics we have seen about the basic client server communication and their protocols involved. Okay, so first half of your unit covers about the computer network, and the remaining half of the first unit covers about the HTML language, a markup language. So today in this session we are going to see about HTML. Okay, so introduction to HTML and its history and versions. So HTML is a markup language. It stands for hypertext markup language. It is used to design web pages. HTML is not a programming language as like C, C++ or Java. Okay, it is a markup language. Means that a language that uses tags, markup tags to define the elements within the document. Okay, the tag in the sense which will enclose using the angle bracket like this. Okay. It's close to something like it is closely related to natural language. Okay, so that's what it is said. It is not a programming language, it's a markup language. Markup in the sense it uses tags to define the HTML elements. Okay, so this is the basic HTML page, a simple web page. So how the structure looks. Okay, the very first line is doc type HTML, which is enclosed within this angle bracket. This bracket is said to be angle bracket when some content is written within this angle bracket, we will be saying as a tag. Okay, so the very first line tells about the which HTML version the browser is using. Okay, doc type is the document type declaration. It tells the version of the HTML. Here HTML means it stands for HTML5 version 5. Okay, and followed by the root element of the HTML is HTML element. This is the HTML element that will appear only once in the document, and this is said to be the starting element or the root element for the web page. Okay, so under the HTML there is a tag called as head. So inside the head it will contain metadata about the web page. Metadata in the sense it will carry out some other information related to the web page. Okay, the web page will be displayed in the browser client area. Apart from that, it holds some information about the title of the web page. Does it includes some external file? Then that file information will be included inside the header file, like Bootstrap if we are using Bootstrap, jQuery, or some other HTML files if we are referring, means those informations will be included in the header part. Okay, and here inside the header there is an element called as title. It holds the title of the web page. And it is closed with closed end tag. This is said to be end tag. End tag will have an open angle bracket followed by forward slash, then the HTML element followed by the close tag. Okay, then after the tag the header section is over, the header section is closed, and there comes the body part. Body is the content of the web page that gets displayed in the client area. Inside the body only we will be designing all our web pages. All the content will be placed inside the web page. In this example there is a there is a sentence called as hello world mentioned within the HTML element paragraph. Here P stands for paragraph. Some of you might have experience in designing a simple web page. For those who are new to HTML, I'll take you to a little demo of this page. Okay, so here you can type your HTML file in any text editor, Notepad, Notepad++. Here I am using my text editor as Bracket, or you could choose Sublime text editor also. Okay, so when you type the HTML, after typing it should be saved. Okay, how you will be saving the HTML page is, so you will be giving the file name .html. or you could give the file name as filename.htm. The file extension of this web page should be always .htm or HTML. Okay, I will take you to the little demo section. Here I will be using my editor named as brackets. Okay. The first root element is HTML followed by head. So inside the head I am giving the title of this web page as my first HTML page. Followed by end tag. This is set to be end tag. End tag will be this one. Okay, so angle bracket will have slash forward slash. Okay, then I am closing the head by means of close end tag and followed by my body section. Inside the body section I am going to have a simple paragraph that says hello world. Okay, this is my first web page. I am going to close the paragraph, body, closing the body followed by closing the HTML root element. Then I am going to save the file as save as first HTML page. Dot HTML. The extension should be dot HTML. I am going to save it in the desktop. Save. Now I am going to take this to the browser. There you go. This is the first web page. Hello, the paragraph content alone displayed here because that is the body part. So whatever the content present inside the body part alone will be displayed in the browser. The browser content area is nothing but the whole part. Okay, from here to here, this is the browser's content area. And here in this example I have given the title of this page to be my first HTML page that gets displayed here in this tab. Have you able to see this? So my first HTML page. So this is displayed here because I have given the title of this page as my first HTML page. Hope you all get to practice these pages. So later on we will be learning more about HTML tags, bullets, tables, forms, etc. So before that I will give you a sneak peek of how to view the HTML code, raw HTML code using the browser itself. So for that, in the browser part, right click, go to view page source. There you will get the source code of this page. The source code of this page is this one, which I have just now programmed in the browser in the editor called as bracket. Its source code will be visible like this. Okay, so right click in the browser, go to view page source. You will get the page source of the respective HTML page. Okay, so now we will move to our presentation. So this is the very first HTML. You could practice it in your home itself using any one of the text editors. Even you could go for HTML, Notepad. So the only thing you need to concentrate is you have to save the file in .html extension. Okay, so here let's have a little note about HTML. So HTML is a human readable markup files contains standard words rather than typical programming syntax. So instead of the programming syntax like every sentence should end with semicolon, the data type should have something like int, float. In programming languages we might have studied all those things. So here it is not like that, it is quite easier. Body means it says something about the content, so that's more semantic. That's what instead of naming this as a programming language, it is named as a markup languages. Markup language means it uses tags, start tag and end tags. The HTML element will be enclosed by the tags. Okay, so HTML is not a standalone single language. It is related to a family of languages like XHTML. Okay, related to XHTML, we'll be seeing it in the forthcoming topics what XHTML is, and in this coming slide also we'll be having a little introduction about XHTML. So the two most popular web programming languages are HTML and XHTML. So XML is it is a language. So in detail about XHTML we'll be studying it in the later part. Okay, XML stands for extensible markup language. HTML is hypertext markup language. Hypertext means if we click a document, if there is something that says more about popular, means if I click popular, it will take me to the another document using the hyperlink. So that's what it is named as hypertext markup language. And again we have a look on the structure, page structure of the HTML. So the root element is the HTML, followed by it is separated into two parts, the header part and the body part. In the header part we will be including all the metadata about the web page which we are designing, and the actual content goes inside the body, and this is the open tag of the body and this is the close tag of the body. So this is said to be a HTML element. Body, head, title, HTML, these are all elements, HTML elements. These elements are enclosed by means of tag. Okay, and the same will be viewed in a tree structure manner. So the root element, the topmost element is HTML, that will occur only once in the document. For example, if you have a HTML element like paragraph, that can be, we could include the HTML element paragraph as many times as we want, but the HTML is the tag which will appear only once, and that too at the top of the document. Okay, so that's what we are saying, HTML is the root element and that is the first tag. And here as I said, HTML is a markup language. Similarly, XHTML is also a markup language. So here in XHTML, so while defining the web page, the root element HTML should follow this attribute. Okay, this is said to be an attribute. It is the stricter version of HTML. That's what it is said to be, XHTML. It should follow this tag, whereas when we design a web page using HTML, it's simple enough to give the tag HTML alone. Okay, and a little more information about the HTML is, the entire page is categorized into two types. Okay, two types of information you will get it in the entire HTML page. One is the markup information, the other is the character data. Markup is nothing but the tags. Okay, apart from, if you remove the markup, the other things are said to be the character data. These character data are the content that is displayed in the web page. Okay, so the markup information means whatever we have included in the tags, it will understand that if we include title inside the header, inside the head element, that title won't be displayed in the body part. Instead, that will be displayed in the browser title. Okay, so that's the meaning of it, of markup information. Okay, so apart from that, if we inside the paragraph, if you give hello world, so it will be converted into paragraph. It means, so if we include two paragraphs, so paragraph is block in the sense it will take up a new line. So if we include two paragraph, means the two paragraphs won't be displayed in a single line. So two paragraphs will be displayed in a two lines, one below the other. Okay, So the character data of the document is everything outside the markup tags which are generally displayed in the browser. Okay, so generally the HTML will have these two categories of information: markup information and the character data. And this is a little in deep knowledge about the HTML. Okay, HTML alone is of no use. Okay, HTML is the front end display in the web browser. So the it's like a presentation of the website. So website will have numerous information. The front end part alone gets displayed. For displaying that front end part, we are using the HTML language. Followed by styling the HTML web page, we will be using CSS, cascading style sheet, followed by some query languages. Here JavaScript is used. Backend is everything else, the remaining part. Okay, so backend in the sense the server part, the database connectivity, that's the back end of the web page. Okay, so we could have a comparison with the restaurant. Okay, so back end is everything that happens in the kitchen, cooking, getting the food items, menus, everything. So front end is just nothing but eating that food in the restaurant. So similar to that, we could compare front end as the HTML, back end is the server part. And again, when you design a web page will be is of again falls into two categories: static and dynamic. Static in the sense the content will be displayed always the same thing. It is not that much interactive. The user cannot interact with that static pages. Instead, the user can simply view what has displayed in that page. That's it. Dynamic pages in the sense it will interact with the user. For example, the example here is given. Website for restaurant comes under static, so that's fixed. The content won't be changed frequently, and of course it's not much interactive. Nowadays even the restaurant websites also more interactive. So you could have the static web page as nothing but a website that displays only the content part. Okay, that doesn't provide any interaction. Whereas if you take Facebook or any social media, the content keeps on changing for every minutes to seconds. So that is more interactive. Those pages, those websites we are seeing as a dynamic websites. And here is a simple display of a HTML. This is the HTML display for this content. I have a content something like this English document. So here if I convert it into HTML using the HTML language, if I rewrite, if I put this content, it will be displayed in a nice format. Here I have the number 1 with the function as bolded, and here bullets numbers are there. Here these are bullet circles are there, followed by this blue color is the hyperlink. If I click this introduction, it will take me to another page, and something these are italicized. Okay, it looks very presentable when compared to simply this document. Okay, so we could achieve this type of display in the web page by using the HTML language. Okay. As I said in the demo section itself, the head element, whatever it gets, whatever we are specifying the header part won't be displayed. It is a metadata about the web page. Okay, so here as I said in the very first example itself, the title is nothing but the title of that web page, and inside the body part, whatever the things we have, that gets displayed here. Okay. So that's the little introduction about the HTML, and we'll move on to have the history and versions of the HTML. So HTML is a markup language that was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in the year 1990. So initially it was designed to exchange the information. Okay, so later the initial version doesn't allow any hyperlinks. Okay, so I mean that doesn't have any tags like tables, forms, initial version of the HTML, but it provides the hyperlinks. I think everybody will be knowing. If we click on the hyperlink, it will take us to another document. Okay, so the initial version of the HTML includes only the simple tags like title, paragraph, hyperlinks, headings, simple list, glossaries, address blocks, etc. So it doesn't have the facility to include the tables, forms, and much more. Even the images are also not supported at the initial version. And here these are the versions, the HTML versions, and today we are still in HTML5 version. And HTML the warriors in the sense. So in the 1990s, since its development, many competitions arrive. Okay, so Netscape Navigator and Microsoft started developing, since there was no standard for the HTML, each browser developer started developing their own HTML elements, and there was a big confusion among the developers for to which HTML element to use. Then in 1994, again Tim Berners-Lee launched a W3 consortium. That's nothing. W3 is nothing but World Wide Web. So it is shortened as W3. So Tim Berners-Lee launched the W3 consortium mainly to produce the standard version of HTML, because each competitor, each web browser, web browsers who develop the web browsers, okay, Microsoft and Netscape Navigator, they started developing their own HTML elements, and it creates a lot of confusion about the among the developer side which element to use. Then Tim Berners-Lee launched the W3 consortium for standardizing the HTML. Okay, then after slowly the standard community adapts to that HTML elements, then then it started looking into cleaning up the HTML. Okay, it means cleaning up in the sense it comes under two categories like syntax and semantics. So in the syntax, it says about the rules to be followed for defining the markup language. So here the syntax, it says conforms to the language. It means the rules to be followed for introducing new HTML tags, something like that. Okay, so under that we have something called as a meta language. So meta language means it is a language, it is used to define the other languages. Okay, HTML is a language, so to define the syntax for the HTML language, it adopts one more language called as a meta language. So meta language is a language that is not to define any programming languages or markup languages. Instead, it is used to define the syntax for HTML. Okay, syntax for HTML and Java generally follows the Backus-Naur notation. There is a notation called as BNF. It follows even the Java also follows this notation. Since HTML is more lighter than Java, it means it is very simple when compared to Java. Instead of following BNF notation, HTML 4.01, from that version onwards, it follows one more standardized notation called as SGML, Standard Generalized Markup Language. Okay, so this is the meta language where the HTML follows from version 4 onwards. Okay, so and in later part 98, there comes again the extension of SGML is XML, Extensible Markup Language, which is a strict version of SGML. In the sense, strict version means while programming in the HTML, even if we forget to close some closing tag, means the browser will understand and it will render that information. The browser won't show any issues, it won't show any technical errors. So the later part, it again by losing that by forgetting to mention the close tag, there comes again the technical issues in the developer side. So to overcome that issue, then there comes the another meta language called as XML, which is highly the superset of SGML to define the strict version of HTML. Okay, then there comes the birth of XHTML, a language which follows the XML as the meta language for defining its syntax. Okay, I hope you got a little note on the syntax of languages. So here syntax, it mainly confirms about the how to define the syntax for HTML. Okay, so for that it uses a for to define the syntax, it uses one more language called as meta language. HTML uses that meta language as SGML, whereas XHTML follows XML as the meta language to define the syntax of its markup, okay, language. Then semantics in the sense, it is closely related to the natural language. So it's the it says the description of the HTML elements in natural language. For example, body. So from body itself we could get, we could understand that body means it says something about the main part. Then paragraph means it is more closely related to the semantic. So its meaning is closely related to natural language. So that's what we are saying as the semantics. Okay, HTML language is categorized into syntax and semantics. Semantics in the sense its markup, its element, HTML elements are HTML elements are closely related to natural language description. And as I said, the difference SGML and XML. So both are meta languages to define the other language syntax. SGML is a meta language for HTML and XML is a meta language for XHTML. Okay, so from this diagrammatic picture itself we could get, so HTML is derived from the language SGML. The same XML is derived from SGML, which in turn XML will act as a meta language for XHTML, which is very strict version when compared to HTML. Okay, and the difference, as I said earlier, HTML allows some tag omissions. Even if we forget to mention the close tag, means it doesn't produce any error. Whereas HTML, it is a very strict language. Okay, so here the element and the attribute names are lowercase, whereas in HTML this is case sensitive. In the sense we can choose the HTML element tag to be uppercase or lowercase, so there is no difference in that. Whereas XHTML, the XHTML elements and its attributes should always follow the lowercase letters. Okay. Then we have the versions XHTML basic 1.1 mainly for limited devices like cell phones. Then there comes XHTML 1.1. okay, so this is this language is defined using a grammar that is more modular than XHTML 1.0. So modular in this sense, modules, it is defined in terms of modules. I'll take you to one I think one Stack Overflow answer the difference between XHTML 1.0 and 1.1. So XHTML 1.1 was the reformulation of a language into a series of modules as a framework for future development of the language by specific writers. Okay, so it is nothing but the it is the reformulation of 1.0 version into a series of modules. XHTML 1.1. okay, so it is more modular than compared to XHTML 1.0. So here the grammar is nothing but collection of rules which are which follows XML based rules for defining the syntax of the language. So grammar is a collection of rules for defining the syntax of XHTML language. And finally the relationship as we have discussed so far, that is given in a pictorial representation. So SGML is the base meta language for XHTML or HTML, whereas XHTML is the programming markup language which uses XML as the extensible markup language as its meta language, which in turn is a superset of SGML. From SGML, we have the different versions of HTML that will be processed by the SGML tools, whereas here XML tools gets processed these HTML pages. Okay, so that's it about today's class, and I think this little assessment you could pass through it. Just abbreviate these words, and with this little demo you could have since I have introduced only a single element paragraph, so those who are already aware of designing a web page, so you could come up with designing a simple page that describing about yourself. I think it's easier for you. Those who have a little knowledge earlier about HTML, you can come up with this solution. And we will have a little summary of today's topic. So we have seen about HTML introduction, a demo part, simple demo using any text editor you could go, and followed by its history, versions, and meta languages SGML, XML, and its respective markup languages like HTML and XML. So in the forthcoming topic, we will be going to see about the syntax and semantics of XHTML.